My dear students, good evening. How are you? Hope you all are fine by the grace of the Almighty. I am fine too, and I am again before you the students to 10, and I am from the platform of my own school, that is Bhola Girls High School. And before starting the class, I want to introduce myself again. I am Jannatul Firdaus Iti, Assistant Teacher English, Bhola Girls High School, Bhola. And I am teaching you. I am trying to teach you the voice. Try to take the classes about voice change, and today is my third class on this topic. So dear students, let's start today's class, and it's about voice change. So I am taking the class about voice change, and I have started from tenses. That means sentences according to tense are from active to. I have completed up to past continuous tense, and today I am going to start from past. So first I want to tell you the structure of past perfect tense. Dear students, I know that you are topic, and obviously you know the rule of past perfect tense. Still I am telling you again, that is subject plus head plus V3, that is PP form, the main verb, and then object. One thing is remarkable, that is in past perfect tense perfect tense, while we have seen that in present perfect tense there are two auxiliary verbs, that is past perfect tense there is only one auxiliary verb, and that is had. So here there is no point of confusion about the uses of verb. Which verb is to use here is the needed here. So subject plus head plus V3 plus object, and the rule of the voice, structure of the voice is subject plus had been plus V3 plus by plus object. So very easy. This is the structure of voice change. So let me try an example, and past perfect tense. As usual, I have selected one common sentence about writing a letter, and I am writing this again. He had written a letter. He had written a letter. Dear students, notice that subject plus auxiliary verb had plus V3, that means PP form of main verb, and then object. And in order to make it passive, what I have to do? I have to do that. First, I will write the subject of the active voice, and here a letter is noun, so no change is available here. So a letter, then as had is the only verb for past perfect tense, so no confusion, and then been, had been, then the PP form of a letter had been written, then by, then object, that means the objective form of the subject, as it is pronoun. I have to write the objective form of the subject, that is him. So a letter had been written. So dear students, perhaps you are clear how to make changes, that means from active to passive of the sentences of past perfect tense. So I want to do another task for you, that is I want to write the negative form of this sentence for you, that is he had not written and this is the negative form of this sentence, and what I have to do to solve this problem, that is one not is added here, and in order to make it passive, only a little change is needed here, that is had plus not. I have to write the not after the auxiliary verb, then been, then V3, then by, and then object. Very easy. The negative form of the subject, negative form of this sentence of past perfect tense, not will be here. So he had not written a letter, he had not written a letter, and how will I how to change it into passive? As usual, object, a letter, then had, and then not. A letter, had, then not, then been, then V3, that is PP form of the main verb written by him. So this is the negative form of the sentence of past perfect tense, and I want to write the interrogative form now, that is he had written a letter. What is the interrogative sentence of this sentence? That is had. Just I have to put the auxiliary verb before the subject, that is had he written a letter, had he written a letter, he written a letter, and how to make it what is the rule of the interrogative? There is a subject, auxiliary verb. I have to write auxiliary verb before the subject, then subject, then been, then V3, then by, then object. Very easy. So had he written a letter, I'm sorry, here not he, be subject. So at first I have to write had, then the subject, a letter, had a letter, then been, had a letter, been, then the PP form of the main verb, that is written, had a letter, in the objective form of the subject. So had a letter been written by him. This is the interrogative form of past perfect tense. And another option is also there, that is the negative interrogative form, and I'm not writing that form, just want to tell you what to do for negative interrogative term. For the negative interrogative term, that is had he written a letter, I can write, I can tell that hadn't he written a letter. Just I have to add and with the auxiliary verb, hadn't he written a letter, and in case of making it passive, I have to do hadn't, just this way. Hadn't a letter been written by him? Change. I have to add the not in with the auxiliary verb in a contraction form, and in case of passive, I'm just doing that. Hadn't he written a letter? Hadn't a letter been written by him? Very simple change. If you notice it carefully, you will learn it. So hadn't he written a letter? Hadn't a letter been written by him? Actually, 4 type of sentence made from a single sentence. 4 type: negative form, interrogative form, and negative. So when you will try to practice voice changes at home, the items of sentences, negative, interrogative, all. So here with one example, one sentence, I have I have made all the 4 forms, and perhaps you are clear now. Now I want to give some more examples for you. They had completed. They had completed their assignment. They had completed their assignment. They had completed their assignment. And I want to do all the 4 forms for you of this sentence. So they had all completed their assignment. First I it passive. Here subject, auxiliary verb, main verb, and object. So first the object will be the subject, their assignment. Their assignment. Then as usual had been. Their assignment had been. Then the verb completed. Their assignment had been completed. Then by, then the object, that is the objective form of the subject. Their assignment had been completed by them. And what will be the negative form of this sentence? Can you imagine? Can you guess? Very easy. They hadn't completed. Hadn't bolte pare or had not bolte pare. Hadn't completed their assignment. They hadn't completed their assignment. And the passive of this sentence is their assignment. Their assignment. Their assignment had not been. Hadn't been can also be written. Their assignment had not been completed by them. And now I want to write the interrogative form of this sentence. What is the interrogative one? The interrogative one is had they completed their assignment. The interrogative form is of this sentence is had they completed their assignment. Can you guess the answer of this? I have already shown you in the previous example how to make it passive from the active form, and now I am changing it. Completed their assignment. Here as usual auxiliary verb will be before the subject, had and then the object. had their assignment, then been, then the PP form of the main verb been completed by, had their assignment been completed by them, and this is the interrogative form. And I have already told you in my previous sentences that negative interrogative form is very easy, and you just follow the board. That to make it negative interrogative, I have to just add an not with the auxiliary verb, and that is hadn't they assignment, hadn't they completed their assignment, and the passive form is hadn't their assignment been completed by them. Just I have to add a not here, and the task is completed. So hadn't their assignment been completed by them, very easy. And I am writing another example for you. Samina her decision. Samina had changed her decision. Changed her decision, and the passive form is object. I can write in this way, her decision. Instead of her decision, I can write Samina's decision, as both the subject and object is the same person. So I can write in this way, Samina's decision had been changed by her. Samina's decision had been changed by her. He had drawn a picture, and a picture, very easy dear students, just follow the classes attentively. Picture had been drawn by him. And if you want to do it, do the negative interrogative and the negative interrogative form, you can change it very easily. He had drawn a picture. Its negative form is drawn a picture. And what is the passive? Yourself. He had drawn a picture. Had he drawn a picture? Interrogative. And the negative interrogative is hadn't he drawn a picture? Hadn't he drawn a picture? So the passive form of these sentences I have shown you already in previous sentences. So try to solve it on your own self. I believe that you will be able to do that, as I have already told you the structures and the structure of the I have already shown some examples solving it out, and so I hope that you will be able to complete it or solve it on your own. Now I want to move on to the next tense. I want to skip past perfect continuous tense. I just want to move on to future indefinite tense, and future indefinite tense. Future indefinite tense. So, dear students, what is the structure of the future indefinite tense? You all know, very easy. Subject plus shall or will plus V1 plus object. So here we see again two auxiliary verbs are there, and which one is for which subject? It can be a question, though it's not so tough a question, as you have already. Passive form is object will be the subject or later, then will be then the PP form of the main verb written, then by the object, that is him. A letter will be written by him. Future indefinite tense, the structure of the tense is subject plus shall will plus present form of the main verb, then plus shall be will be plus V3, or that is past participle form of the main verb, and then by and then on the object, and this is the solution. Write the negative form of this sentence, that is he will not write a letter, and I can also write he won't write a letter is also possible. And what will be the passive form of this? I have already the negative form is very easy, that is subject plus shall not be, will not be plus V3 plus by plus object. So subject plus shall not be plus will not be plus V3 plus by plus object, and the passive form is a letter will not be. Will not be written by him. A letter will not be written by him. And the interrogative auxiliary verb will be before the subject. Will he write a letter? And its structure is not so tough, so I am not writing that. Will he write a letter? And as well, in case of interrogative, auxiliary verb will be always before the subject, and then will a letter be written by him. Will a letter be written by him? This is the interrogative form of future indefinite tense, and the negative interrogative one is won't he write a letter? Won't he write a letter? Won't he write a letter? And the passive form is won't. Very easy. Just there is a not will be added, with the auxiliary verb. So won't you write a letter? Won't a letter? Won't a letter be written by him? So dear students, here is the structure and examples of, and I have shown you all the 4 items based on these very tense, future indefinite tense, affirmative form, negative form, interrogative form, and then negative interrogative form, and I have solved all the items, and I hope you will learn something from here and you will practice at home. So now I some other examples for you. See the example, Shapno will buy a car, and we can make 4 sentences, total 4 sentences on based on this topic. Based on this single sentence, we can create 3 more sentences, that is the negative form, form, and perhaps you can guess the what will be that. Right, again. Shapno will buy a car. And what is the passive form of this? That is, object will, then will, then be, then the PP form of the main verb, that is buy. PP form of buy is bought. A car will be bought by Shapno. And in order to make voice changes, you have obviously you have to learn the all the examples, all the words from of strong verbs and weak, all the words of strong verbs and weak verbs. And I in my last this topic, that is strong verb and weak verbs, that is the past and past participle form of a main verb, and if you learn it properly, it will be very easy for you to solve any grammar item. And here the bought is the PP form of buy, and verb is actually needed in all types of sentences, and so grammar item, strong verbs and weak verbs, so it will be easy to solve these problems. So Shapno will buy a car will be bought by Shapno, and I want to write the negative form of this, that is Shapno won't buy a car, and its passive one is a car won't be bought by Shapno. And the interrogative one is will Shapno buy a car, interrogative form, and its passive one is will a car be by Shapno? Will a car be bought by Shapno? And negative interrogative form is won't স্বপ্ন by a car, and its negative won't occur be bought by shopping. So 4 sentences for you in 4 forms, 4 forms of sentences, that is affirmative, negative, interrogative and negative interrogative. So won't occur, be bought by, shopno. I hope you are now clear about future indefinite tense, and now I want to bring future continuous tense. And now I want to discuss about future continuous tense. Continuous tense, and the structure of this tense is subject plus shall be, will be plus V4, that is ing with the main verb plus object. And what is the rule of voice change? That is, rules of the voice is subject plus shall be being plus subject plus shall be being, will be being plus V3, that is PP form of the main verb, that then by, then object. Object, subject plus shall be being plus will be being plus V3 plus by object, plus by and then object, and this is the structure of the tense, and this is the structure of the voice. Example is, he will be writing later, and the voice change is will. If you follow the structure, the task will be very easy. So a letter will be being, then V3, that is written, being written by him. A letter will be being written by him, and the negative not be writing a letter. He will not be a letter, and its passive form is a letter will not be being written by him. A letter will not be being written by him, and the will auxiliary verb will be before the subject. Will he be writing a letter? Will he be writing a letter? And its passive form is will letter be being written by him. if you notice this, it can be it can be seemed to hard, little bit hard for you, but if you follow the structure, then I think the whole thing will be easier, and you will love learning it. So will a letter be being written by him, and the negative interrogative form is won't, or I can write will not separately. So won't he be writing a letter? Passive form is won't a letter, won't a letter be being written him. So this is all the four forms of future continuous tense. He will be writing a letter, or letter will be being written by him. He will not be writing a to be a letter being written, be writing a letter, won't a letter be early, it will be easier for you. You will find very easy. So now I want to and in case of voice change, you will have to be sure about the subject and object, which one is subject and which one is the object. You will have to be sure first, then you will go for it. So if you can identify the subject and object, the task will be easier. So here there is the subject and our noise is the subject, and noise will be